Забавная. Очень забавная, однако. Вышла у нас предыдущая серия данного прохождения. В ней мы выполнили практически все дополнительные расследования, которые у нас были доступны на данный момент, кроме одного, но оно пока невыполнимо. Ну и помимо этого мы еще там увидели по самый конец кучу всего интересного и необычного такого, прям я бы сказал даже неожиданного поворота в одном моменте, но в целом, в принципе, все хорошо. Ну и как было обещано, я буквально 10 минуточек отдохнул, надеюсь, зритель ты тоже. И, соответственно, усевшись поудобнее и надев свои любимейшие наушники, мы вновь продолжаем. И наконец-таки в этот раз идем по сюжету. То есть найти Шона Хэмптона в доках Ист-Энда. Изи. Так, и немножко не туда я пошел, но значит идем сюда, через мост. Ну, впрочем, как и по дополнительному заданию, путь мы знаем. Главное, чтобы нам не особо мешали. Так, если есть возможность грабануть, грабим. Радует, что этот наш грабеж на общую статистику нашу не влияет. Ну и на отношение всех к главному герою. Мне нужно пересечь этот мост. Этот, чтоб его мост. Ладно, потопали. Так не хочется никого убивать. В принципе, я и не буду. Просто валим. Пока у нас все хорошо, проблем нет. А ну зачем ты побежал за мной? Зачем? Вот ты так хочешь получить? Вот ты хочешь получить? И ты хочешь? Ты еще жив? На. Молокососы вздумались злить меня. Стояли бы на месте, были бы живы. Ну, кто вам виноват? Я хотел как лучше. Я хотел как лучше. Срез открыт. Неплохо. Ау. Есть кто живой? Сопроводительное письмо. Привет, Фрэнк. Как ты, старый друг? Я так рад был повидаться с тобой на прошлой неделе. В следующий раз угощаю я. Надеюсь, в твоей части города все в порядке. А здесь, в твоем родном квартале, ситуация ухудшается. Клей с каждым днем становится все агрессивнее. Он думает только о новых захватах, даже при том, что кое-кто из новых игроков претендует на нашу территорию. Боюсь, что мокрые ботинки здорово влипли. А я тут подумал над твоими словами, что ты не жалеешь об уходе из банды. И единственное, о чем жалеешь, так это о том, что больше никогда не появишься в Ист-Энде. Ведь там тебя ждет хорошая взбучка или еще что похуже. Но если решишь все-таки заглянуть сюда, я гарантирую тебе защиту. Может, снова поговорим о новых возможностях, о работе. Ты же знаешь, что я всегда ловко обращался с числами. И если твоей компании нужен бухгалтер, давай это обсудим, ладно? Передавай жене привет от меня. Мокрые ботинки. Навсегда, старина. Будь Дигби. Так, хорошо, мы нашли еще информацию для нового чела. Но этого чела нам еще надо разыскать. Мы вошли в новую территорию, и тут, соответственно, будет целая куча своих людей, где нам придется выполнять всяческие задания и прочее, прочее, прочее. В общем, здравствуй.
Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed, that's who I am. And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name's Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier, I can respect that.
So, tell me about your gang, then.
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for?
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The Wet Boot Boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better than other districts because of us. Because of me.
Ну-ну.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
Things ain't that bad, thanks to us. We give people what they need, and we control this borough.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. People are still dying here like everywhere else.
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says if we can find more guns, we could be more efficient.
More efficient? Really? You should probably tell Edwina that guns are useless against diseases and infections.
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more smart than patient. My sweet queen of the docks.
Хорошо, я запомнил. Так, значит, жизнью в Лондоне мы поинтересовались. Теперь о личном займемся.
I know you're looking for an honest job, Booth. You're tired of this criminal life, aren't you?
It's just an idea. Edwina loves to run things so much. You can never really leave the gang. Wet boys for life, you know.
Ясно. Буду знать.
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Так, ну и как я несколько серий назад, когда вся эта ситуация произошла с похищением, я подумал, что я так там походу прослушал или не успел правильно прочесть. Значит, получается, ту старушку, как мы видели, капитально убили, все в кровяхе. А Шон, получается, жив, но его похитили. А я подумал, что Шон сам стал монстром и в итоге все вот это проделал. Ну хорошо. Короче, как только мы дойдем до нашего пункта назначения, там уже все будет видно и во всем разберемся. Так, лечение тебе нужно?
Do you need medical help, sir?
I feel fine, Dr. Reed.
Ну, как скажешь.
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
Так, Эдвина. Надо нам бы с тобой немножко поболтать, так сказать. Здравствуй.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor. From the Pembroke Hospital, actually.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I ain't paying any bill left by Clay.
I'm not here to collect payment, Miss...
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, maybe?
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
I'm not interested in a career in the criminal underworld, Miss Cox.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then, if you don't want to get hurt, or worse.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets, if you must know.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us. Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats words every time.
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace their destiny.
Да, не обижайся, зритель, но ты понимаешь, что мы вошли в новую зону, новые люди, соответственно, нужно со всеми поболтать, всех узнать, всех вылечить, ну и, соответственно, пойти по основной сюжетной линии.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage of you.
You sound like you're thinking of somebody in particular.
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That is a new low.
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards what they owe.
Ну что ж, новое расследование получено. Но, понятное дело, мы его выполнять будем чуточку попозже.
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Bastards, all of them. This region only responds to violence and threats.
Так, получается все. Больше никаких... А нет. Вот оно. Значит, это мы все узнали про... про жизнь в Лондоне. Теперь личное.
Booth Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes. Tell me, Edwina, is the feeling mutual?
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. For once.
I'll take your word for it.
What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about these things.
Behind all your crude words and your attitude, I sense romance and a soft heart, Miss Cox.
Romance? I have no time for such rubbish. I use Booth like I use everyone else.
Ну что ж, я, как обычно, очень добрый, поэтому даже в злых людях пытаюсь найти что-то доброе, даже если там этого вообще нет.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution. There's nothing else to say.
What happened exactly?
I don't know and I don't care. One of ours was killed by that communist bastard, but he didn't brag for long.
So you have no idea what really happened, but you executed him anyway.
No one messes with the wet boot boys, Doctor. This is our territory, and this is our law.
And your conscience is clear. You kill without hesitation.
Violence is an efficient tool, Dr. Reed, when used properly.
So you decide who lives and who dies, just like that.
Yes, Doctor. Just like that. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying it's my way of dealing with troublemakers.
Все с тобой ясно.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Ну что ж, давай поторгуем. Ну, к сожалению, да. Ничем не болеет, лечить ее ни от чего не нужно, что в принципе и хорошо. Собрать информацию о местонахождении Шона Хэмптона. О, мы как раз этим занимаемся. Вырванная страница из дневника. Я ненавижу себя за то, что отворачиваюсь, когда они смеются над моим цветом кожи. Я ненавижу себя за то, что плачу, как девчонка, когда меня оскорбляют. Я ненавижу себя за то, что ругаюсь как мальчик, когда они уходят. Я ненавижу себя за то, что ненавижу родителей. Я ненавижу себя за то, что улыбаюсь, как клиенты называют меня печальной, бриной. Я ненавижу себя за то, что мне не хватает смелости рассказать кому-то свои чувства. Сабрина Кавендиш, подсказка. Ну что ж. Ну с кем еще я могу тут эпично поговорить, что-то новое узнать? О, здравствуйте. А вы кто, сударь?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions. Or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
Nope. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency, then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. That's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
Sometimes it's hard to be a good son.
I just want her to smile. No, I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows she deserves it.
You seem upset. Is something bothering you?
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
Ну что ж, придется и это искать. Так, тут одни подсказки.
Any chance you can help me find Sean Hampton?
The sad saint. Why would you talk to that cunt?
Actually, that's confidential.
Really? Well, go ask someone else then. I'm sure Tom Watts will gladly answer you.
Спасибо за наводку.
Do you require medical assistance?
That's something I didn't expect to hear again. A doctor concerned with the health of his patients. Yeah. I could use some help. On several matters, in fact.
Ну, тогда получай.
I don't know which kind of doctor you're used to dealing with, but it's a doctor's purpose to heal people.
And is it your purpose as well, Mr. Reed? I would say it's a convenient way for gaining people's trust.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
Every night, a darkness.
Отдыхай.
And every dawn.
Итак, с кем мы можем еще тут пообщаться? Кого мы видели, кого не видели? Кто еще тут есть такой вкусненький? О, еще одна жертва моего лечения. Так.
Good evening, madam. I'm Dr. Reed. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
The disease takes away the good people too, madam. Why not let me in?
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. And yes, indeed. Why not let a doctor in?
Ну что ж, спасибо.
I can't remember the last time I had a
Дом
good sleep.
Фишберна.
I've been nothing but wrong.
Вы тут одна? Или есть с кем еще побеседовать? Ну что ж, вроде бы одна. Что ж.
So you have questions about the flu then?
Yes, among other things.
Forgive my rudeness at the door. It's just my son doesn't like strangers coming in the house.
How is life around here?
Life has always been hard in the East End. But it's everywhere nowadays, isn't it?
Do you think the increase in violence has anything to do with the epidemic?
Don't know. But it's most likely linked to the gangs, if you ask me. Recently, it's like everyone has had to pick a side.
Violence has always fed on poverty, don't you think? It's a cruel law of the human condition.
And selfishness is their rotten fruit. These days, you can just die in the gutter, and no one will bat an eye.
May I ask what you do for a living, Mrs. Fishburne?
Since my husband died, I worked at the Dawson Rope Factory, but it closed before the war. I occasionally help at the night asylum, in exchange for food.
Did your husband die in the war?
Oh no, my Jack was a docker. He died when my Seymour was just a lad. The poor boy saw his dad slip and fall from that scaffolding.
How do you pay the rent, then?
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad. He's very attached to the house he grew up in. It's not always easy, but we get by all right.
I'm trying to locate Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where he could be?
You talking about the one everyone calls the sad saint? The man who takes care of the homeless?
The very same, Miss Fishburne.
I'm sorry. I don't know where his shelter is. But if you ask around, I'm sure you'll get your answer.
Спасибо. Ну а лечение тебе нужно?
Mrs. Fishburne, are you in need of any medical assistance?
I am fine for now, least in body. Thank you for your concern, Dr. Reed.
Ну что ж.
Goodbye, Miss Fishburne. Take care of yourself.
Так, а где же... О, неизвестно.
I'm not sure the epidemic is what worries me.
Здравствуй.
Hello, boy.
Hello. Good evening.
Did I scare you? You have nothing to fear from me.
No, it's just that people prefer to avoid me.
Well, I won't. I'm a doctor.
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus Kingsbury.
Ну что ж, давай обсудим твои проблемы.
What can you tell me about this region?
It's all about staying out of trouble. But since most people prefer to avoid me, it's pretty easy.
Why do people avoid you?
They call me Rufus the Curse. Around here, I'm a bit of a bad luck charm.
Что за бред?
Have you ever thought about leaving?
Where else would I go? At least I know these streets and some people around here. This is my city, for better or worse.
What do you do around here, Rufus?
I listen to the news on the docks, sir. And I smile at those kind enough to spare me a bob.
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work, what with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do and why I do it.
What do people say about this place?
Things have been tense between the wet boot boys and the communists. They both feel they should run the docks.
Понятно.
Are you alone? Where is your family?
I don't have any. My parents are dead.
So you have no home? You're sleeping rough?
No. I mean, yes. I live on the streets. I have no home.
We're all truly alone in this world. You're lucky you learnt that early.
Well, I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I have Mrs. Fishburne. She's been very kind to me.
Why do you think she's so considerate?
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good soul. Sometimes it's like she replaces the mother I lost, even if we're not related.
Что ж, отлично. Будем знать, о чем поболтать в следующий раз. Так, все, точно больше ничего нету.
Do you know a man who lives in this part of town? A man named Sean Hampton. I'm looking for him.
Sorry, sir. I don't know a lot of folks around here. Most prefer to avoid me.
Well, I don't think you should talk to him. He may be very sick.
Thanks for the tip. You might want to check the Turquoise Turtle. It's a pub not far from here. The barkeep knows everyone in these parts.
Do you need help?
A real doctor caring about me. That's a first. I feel like a real person.
Ну что ж, будь здоров.
A real doctor treats everyone the same, Rufus.
I don't know what to say. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
Итак, еще один восстанавливается, что не может не радовать. Так, ну что, есть у нас еще жертвы? Есть. Сабрина. Так, а с Сабриной мы же не общались, да?
These murders are the work of a vampire.
A vampire? Whatever do you mean?
I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back, and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth, claws, murders by night? Your sewer dog is my business. He's the kind of prey I hunt, milady.
Ясно, все с вами.
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
Так, ну да, с тобой же мы в самом начале игры-то общались. А еще что там, ты можешь мне сказать?
Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what you say, sir.
You look concerned, Miss Cavendish.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you blind, or worse. You best mind your step.
If you're uncertain about your safety here, the docks might not be the right place for you.
I got responsibilities. And it's not like I've got the money to move anywhere else anyway.
This place seems, how shall I put it, very colorful. I'm sure it has plenty of stories to tell.
We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened yet.
So this bar is neutral territory then?
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need. No one ever draws a weapon here. That's one of the reasons I accepted the job.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator to force such an agreement.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke. Mr. Hampton, who runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's able to keep peace around here.
Хотел бы я с ним познакомиться, надеюсь, мне предоставится такая возможность.
Excuse my curiosity, but where exactly are you from, Miss Cavendish?
Something bothering you? What, my name? Or my complexion?
Believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the color of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom, Dyson, Miss Fishburne, and of course Mr. Hampton.
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was just curious to find out if you know this part of town well.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow. They got married in London. And here I am.
Sabrina, tell me about your true feelings for your boss.
I love Tom. Not ashamed of it. Don't care if the customers joke about it neither.
Does Tom love you?
Yeah, but he's always reluctant to take it further. It's not because I'm younger, or because of the colour of my skin. He hates jokes about us.
Who's mocking you?
I mean, we're always together. People will talk, won't they?
Да, зритель, я понял, что ты сейчас немножко в недоумении из-за того, что я сказал про Тома, что надо с ним познакомиться. Я знаю, что это важно.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom, sir.
Why not answer me directly?
We respect the privacy of our customers here, sir. Only Tom can decide who to speak to and what he'll say to them.
Do you require medical assistance?
I'm fine, sir.
Goodbye. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Ну что ж, ты и есть Том, да? Ну, окей.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad. Thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean is one of them.
How is it you can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long-term hope.
I see. So you get pressure from all sides about how this place should be run, do you?
Well, something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
Since I'm here, is there anything I can do?
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
Хорошо. Еще одно расследование. Класс.
Why does your waitress feel in danger working on the docks?
This part of town is dangerous for all, but for women it's worse, as always. Sabrina is a brave girl, but she can't help feeling in danger.
Do you think she has good reason to feel this way? Are you not worried about her safety?
Of course I am. The truth is, she's tougher than me deep inside. She just has to learn to control it.
Ну что ж.
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
I like her too, I really do. I know I'm her boss, and I'm much older and all. But I like her, for sure.
What is bothering you, then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
Ясно.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. That would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
Ясно. Будем знать.
The important thing is I find him, quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Спасибо. Обслуживание нужно?
Do you need any help?
I'm all right, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
Ну что ж. Итак, переутомление. Ну что ж. Здравствуй.
Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
I drink. I drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night. And then I drink some more.
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad, sir.
That's because I am, Doc.
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? Drink in the morning and at noon. I'll drink at night.
Все с тобой ясно.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly. So joyful.
Why are you so cynical?
Cynicism is the polite way to express despair, Doctor.
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
All right. Go on.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire, broken window of the shoe shop, the torn street light.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it, and now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is. I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Но ты перестань пить, и, возможно, рано или поздно ты станешь прежним.
Is there anything in particular?
How dare you?
Why are you
Cynic.
Ясно. Так, значит, с жизнью разобрались, теперь лично.
Surely you must have had dreams and expectations when you were young, like everybody else.
Sure, I wanted things to change. To really change, and to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believed that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most of us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty. I failed for sure, but others will come.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor, make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who could tell me, then?
About the sad saint. I'll try asking Tom what's about him.
Ну, это мы уже сделали.
Inebriation aside, do you need medical help?
Yes. I feel sicker than usual these days.
Ну что ж, будь здоров.
Take this, then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol intake, too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Что ж, восстанавливайся, друг, восстанавливайся. Так. Неизвестный. Побеседовать можно?
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity or strange events recently?
And what do you define as a strange event? More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton, vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
Ну, давай побеседуем.
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Oh boy. It's a shame I wasn't around to protect him.
It's impossible to protect everyone. The violence seems endemic in this part of town.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
So, how exactly are you protecting these people? I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight. They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the population to the vampire threat.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus on my patrols.
Ну что ж, почему бы не помочь человеку?
Have you heard of the Guard of Priwen?
Of course. They're dedicated hunters. A little militant for my taste, but they do let anyone join.
Were you ever tempted to join the Guard yourself?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter. They're more of a sanitary militia.
Уж это мы знаем.
So you hunt alone? That sounds risky.
Vampires are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry and follow certain patterns. It's just a matter of observation and patience.
Ну что ж, больше ничего нету.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton.
The sad saint?
Really?
It's nothing personal.
Maybe at least you... I could make you tell.
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested. By a priest of all people. Funny thing is, though, it only strengthened his faith.
Хорошо, если я его встречу, я обязан буду об этом спросить. Это довольно-таки любопытный факт, мы узнали.
Do you need my medical attention, sir?
I appreciate your concern, but I'm perfectly fine, thank you.
Ну что ж.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, goodbye. Так. Ну что, я так понял, все. Больше тут нет с кем бы вот это вот. Нет, мы еще не открыли 4. Где их искать, непонятно. Но где-то искать-то мы их будем. Так, восстанавливается, восстанавливается, восстанавливается. Все остальные... А, нет, стоп, еще вот 2. То есть получается 6. Еще 6 найти нужно. Как скажете. Как скажете. Так, найти Шона Хэмптона в доках Ист-Энда. Да в доках мы его поищем, это понятное дело. Ух ты ж, ё. О, сколько мы времени потратили на то, чтобы только со всеми тут разнакомиться. Но это наверняка еще не конец. Где же еще? И кто же у нас тут хочет с нами свозиться? Тот самый мост, по которому мы бежали. Тот самый мост, да. Но если серьезно. Хорошо, давайте бегать по городу. Бегаем по городу. И по-любому рано или поздно мы в любом случае просто будем обязаны встретить того, кого мы еще не лечили. Обидно. Обидно. Почти всех встретили, почти. Капелька остается. Всего лишь 6 человек. Всего лишь 6. Не пугай меня. Я вампир нервный. Так, ну отсюда мы пришли. Ребята, кто-то живой есть? Так, доки это хорошо, правда я не... Хо-хо-хо-хо. 22 уровень. Ёшки-матрёшки. Где же мои кошки? Надо найти нормальный способ попасть в эти западные доки. Соответственно, погнали. Тут больше никого нет. Печаль, беда, печаль, беда. Реально, 22 уровень, ё-моё. И вот где соваться явно не стоит. Это уж точно. Ну что ж, западные доки, так западные доки. Шон.
I don't think so. Wounds are clean, it's pathetic. A freaking vampire then? I can't say, but whatever did this carefully avoided the arteries. We've found ourselves a bloody artist.
Seems like the guard of Frewen is on Sean Hampton's trail too.
I'll send you to hell. Take a breath of this! Bloody monster!
Мне кажется, что из-за тебя мне будет проблема, соответственно, от тебя избавиться.
Die, vermin!
Ясно. Они будут до бесконечности меня долбить. Тебе нравится эта боль? О, мне не очень. Тихо, 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 тихо. Хорош. Ребята, вы немножко... Долбаная выносливость. Успеем убить его. О, даже так. хочу использовать одноручное оружие. Двуручные хоть и медленные, но зато долбит как надо.
The wounds on this corpse are deep, the result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast.
Реально, поэтому Шону и не скажешь, что он мог стать монстром. Хотя его ж кусали, еще раз кусали, соответственно, это все было неизбежно. Но так это или нет, мы узнаем только, когда его самого обнаружим. И это либо опровергнется, либо подтвердится. Ну что ж, очередной босс повержен, хоть и криво. Я хотел с ним справиться куда быстрее и лучше, но это огонь меня просто выбешивал. А то, что боссы не хотят сражаться сами, выбешивало вдвойне. Здрасте. А, ты за стеночкой. Ну тогда ладно, идем к тебе. Ну в смысле? Я что, зря босса убивал? Не, ну за это-то спасибо, ну как бы... Что ж, давайте так пройдем. 17 уровень. Ну, в принципе, если захотеть, то можно одолеть. Почему бы и нет. Ого. Ну что ж, спасибо, что сделали за меня всю нужную работу.
Let's pin it down.
Хватит в меня шикать всякой непонятной дичью. Так, вот ты меня бесишь. Прости. Так, но мне в любом случае надо наверх. Хотя стоп, внизу тоже куча всего интересного. Соответственно, почему бы все это нам поисследовать и не забирать? Все равно никому не надо. А мне пригодится.
Better go home soon. I'll put an end to you.
Сидел быстрее. Не успеешь. Долго ли мне еще бежать? Нет, мы уже почти на месте. Уже милиписечка осталось, чуть-чуть, капельку, и мы уже будем на месте. Опа. Люди? Люди? Тут люди! Мазафака! Тут люди! Еще 6, походу, сейчас найдем, да? Люди. Здравствуйте.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I have your attention for a minute?
Good evening, sir. My name is Giselle Paxton, but I don't have time for men like you.
Have we met before?
No, but I just need to look at your fancy clothes to know that you must be desperate to visit the docks at night.
That's quite judgmental of you.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to identify you as an enemy of the working class.
May I ask what you do for a living?
I'm killing myself scraping for a living. And you? Have you ever had to struggle in your entire life?
As I told you, I'm a doctor. You have to work a lot to earn that title.
Oh, a doctor. Born with money in a nice house, were we? Was Daddy a banker or a doctor himself?
Why such hatred? Are you judging me by my clothes and my job?
Of course I am. Fuck, you're so blind. You don't even see your privilege. Lazy people like you disgust me.
И мне приятно с тобой познакомиться.
What can you tell me about this vicinity?
Tell you what, just spend a few weeks here, and then ask me that question again. If you're still alive, I mean.
You don't know me, Miss Paxton, and yet you see me as an enemy.
Your manners, your clothes, your words tell me everything about you, sir. I know your kind, and you don't belong here.
You're right. I have never suffered from poverty. But that doesn't mean I don't fight it and its consequences.
I really doubt you ever had to fight for anything in your life, Dr. Reed.
If you have something to say, say it. I'm getting tired of all this.
Oh. You want information instead? Well, here's some for you. Giselle Paxton does not like you at all, Doctor.
You speak of strikes and class enemy. Am I right to assume you're involved in trade union activism?
You bet I am. Well, I was. Nowadays, I'm just another worker blacklisted by the big companies.
Isn't the whole point of trade unions to help workers in need? Why don't they support you?
A few nights back, I lost the money my companions had asked me to hide. With me and my sister being penniless, they thought I stole it.
What really happened?
I drank too much that night. Strange men saw me count the money in that bar. Some sort of militia in uniform. I'm sure they robbed me.
Ну что ж, и новое расследование получили. Ну что же, выполним в свое время.
You lost your job because of your beliefs.
Those bastards really hate a worker who refuses slave wages and unsafe conditions, especially when it's a woman.
Это да. Это всегда было, есть и будет. Уж я-то знаю. Так, все.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
What is it you want? Does he owe you money? Has he displeased your Royal Highness? I'm no snitch, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Ну ладно.
Do you need medical help, Miss Paxton?
No, thank you.
Ну нет, так нет, твое дело.
Well, I'll leave you for now. Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Приятно было с тобой познакомиться. Так, кто еще тут есть? Тут люди. Надеюсь, О, а вот и ты, Шон. Ну, я к тебе подойду в любом случае. Но для начала я хочу найти тут всех 6. Если они, конечно, есть.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Can I help you?
A fancy doctor lurking at night by the docks? Not fishy at all.
And what about you? Working outside at night in this dangerous part of town?
You want to know my secret? I'm trying to earn money. And I'm Lottie Paxton, by the way.
Ну, давай побеседуем.
Is it not dangerous to work here at night?
As long as I have good legs, I can run away from trouble. The sad saint now provides me and my sister a bed and a roof. I don't want to lose that.
Are you homeless, Miss Paxton?
Mr. Hampton's night asylum is our new home now. It's a safe place for me and my sister.
What can you tell me about the Sad Saint?
It's just the nickname of Sean Hampton, the sad saint of the East End. He gave me shelter, and he's not always sad.
What can you tell me about this place? How are things here?
It may be okay for a strong girl like me, but a dandy doctor from the city like yourself, you better watch your back, Mr. Reed.
Which local dangers must I avoid?
Well, the gangs, the thieves, the drunks, the jobless. A man with your fancy clothes will attract a lot of attention.
Well, I am not someone so easily intimidated.
Glad to hear that. And if you get into trouble, you can always seek help at Sean Hampton's shelter. No one would dare to be violent there.
You really think I should go back to a safer place, miss?
No. I think you had better stay and help as many people as you can. Just avoid the wet boot boys. Those bastards are worse than the epidemic.
Ясно.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
Mr. Hampton must be in his office at the night asylum he manages, I suppose. Why do you want to see him?
He was a patient of mine at the Pembroke Hospital, but he left abruptly.
I see. Well, Mr. Hampton is a discreet and dedicated man. I'm sure you'll find him soon enough.
Надеемся.
Do you need my medical attention, Miss Paxton?
I'm fine, Dr. Reed. Keep your medicine for those who need it.
Как скажешь.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Так, значит, ищем дальше. Что, все? Тут только 2 дамы и все. А где, получается, еще 4? Старая газета. Бомба взорвалась на рассвете перед оружейным заводом Доусон и Доусон, крупнейшим предприятием района. Взрывной волной выбило все окна в северном Саут-Парке. Это чудо, что погибли только 2 человека, заявил старший суперинтендант Александр Брайтон.
It's locked.
Прискорбно. Фух. Заданий тут, конечно, целая туча. Каждый хочет, чтоб я кому, в общем-то, помог, да. Все хотят помощи, все. Ну и, разумеется, по возможности помощь будет оказана всем. Но всему свое время. Так, значит, состояние стабильное. Вот еще 2 дамочек я нашел. Что хорошо. И остается еще 4. Где их искать, пока непонятно. Возможно, они находятся в других областях этого места. Вот так вот. Что пока мы просто до них не добрались. Ну. Отлично. Значит, тут только 2 дамочки, да? Блин, обидно так-то. Хотел целую кучу народу встретить. Такое было. Так, на всякий случай еще немножко побегаем. Мало ли, вдруг. Ага. Опа-на! Ей! Нашли! Не зря, значит, бегал.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you need any help?
Rest assured, I will help you, sir. Martin Nightingale, at your service. Please, take a look at my wares.
Your merchandise. I don't really see anything worth having. No offense.
None taken, sir. But please, I need to eat. Perhaps if you keep looking, you'd see something that takes your fancy.
Let me be frank. You're as much of a businessman as I am a werewolf, right?
Who the hell are you to question me? It's hard enough to stay clean when you don't have a place to sleep. I'm doing my best here.
I meant no offense, Mr. Nightingale. I was merely pointing out the fact that you're unlikely to survive long if you continue wandering this path.
And what should I do then, sir? Should I join the wet boot boys like so many others? No thanks. I'd rather be a bad seller than a dead gang member.
Логично.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood? Have you got any friends around these parts?
Not really. Miss Gillingham smiles and says kind words, but I know she's lost her marbles, especially since her son died.
How interesting. I don't suppose you know what happened to her son.
Jack! Rumour has it he tried to tackle some gang lads. I didn't know him well, but I heard he was a nice enough chap. His old ma still thinks he's around.
Tell me about this crazy woman. Madness is often mistaken for other conditions.
The poor woman's mad, all right. Kind and all, but she has so much trouble remembering things. She's taken me for a son more than once.
Ясно, спасибо. Это ценная информация.
Why not try seeking help instead of peddling your wares? I'm sure there are people around here that would gladly help.
There's always the night asylum. I heard it's run by a very nice man, but I'm no beggar. Not yet, at least.
There is no shame in asking for help, my boy. Sometimes it can even be the best course of action.
I don't feel okay with that. I'm gonna make a name for myself, and I'll do it by myself.
Амбиции, конечно, это хорошо, но не перегибай.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
He's a caretaker for the poor, is he not?
Something like that, yes.
Sorry, I don't know where he is.
Young man, do you require medical attention?
I'm perfectly fine, thank you.
Ну что у тебя есть поторговать?
You seem quite a stranger to these parts.
Кто знает, кто знает. Что ж, из того, что можно было у него купить, я купил. Так, кто еще из людей тут есть? Только эти двое. Все?
I know I've got something that'll strike your fancy. If not, I'll find you something.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I come in?
I already took my medication, Doctor. But thank you.
I'm sorry. Your medication? Have we met before?
Don't tease me like that, Jack. Sorry, what?
I think I should come in, miss. I'd like to check if everything is okay, what with the epidemic spreading across London.
An epidemic, you say? How terrible. I had no idea. But where are my manners? Please do come in, Doctor. You are a doctor, yes?
I'll find you something.
Так, ты здесь одна? Вроде как да.
So, Dr. Tippett, what brings you back here? I heard whispers you had a job at that fancy hospital.
I told you my name is Jonathan Reed. Don't you remember?
Of course I do. I remember my name too. Gillingham. but you may call me Enid, Doctor. I'm very happy to see you again.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
Oh no, I don't gossip. That would be most unbecoming of a lady such as myself.
Who are the more influential figures on the docks?
Well, I heard about some terrible illness going around. I would say in that case that it's you, Dr. Tippett.
Is anyone taking care of you, Miss Gillingham?
My son is always here to take care of me. He's a good boy like that, but I do worry that he needs to start living his own life. Why, I would never say that to him, of course.
I'm looking for a Sean Hampton. Do you know where I might find him?
Sean Hampton, you say? The name does seem vaguely familiar, but alas, I cannot recall from where.
Ясно. Ну что ж, давайте хотя бы подлечим.
Do you require medical attention, miss?
I'm glad you asked, Dr. Tippett. I must confess I haven't felt that well of late.
Ну, держи.
I'll try my best. Here, take this. And please, try to get some rest.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, Miss Gillingham.
Ну что ж, я думаю, на этом надо уже закончить. И к нашему Шону будем идти в следующей серии. И да, я знаю, что я творю непотребщину. Это один из элементов геймплея, соответственно, по сути, мы ничего не грабим. Да, по сути, мы ничего не грабим. Просто забираем то, что нужно нам для дальнейшего развития всего этого дела. Неоконченное письмо. Родни, я только что узнал о том, что произошло сегодня вечером. Я побежал к тебе, но ты уже ушел. Вот я и пишу тебе эту записку. Это правда, что ты убил его? Невероятно. Почему? Что произошло? Мне очень нужно с тобой поговорить. Пожалуйста, найди способ связаться со мной. Я знаю, что ты можешь быть очень осторожным. И поэтому, чтобы ты знал, что это не ловушка. Давай при встрече использовать код. Я просвещу свое имя. Азбукой Морзе, а ты свое. Тогда ты поймешь, что это в самом деле я. А пока это хорошо, что ты прячешься. Мокрые ботинки разгуливают по всему кварталу и говорят, что накажут того, кто убил одного из них. Когда все утихнет, мы с тобой договоримся и все уладим. Ну что ж, новое расследование. Ага, ясно. Теперь понятно, где находятся еще не найденные мною. Так, получается, раз, два, три, четыре, пять, и вот остался шестой. Всего лишь одного пока что не нашел. Хорошо, хорошо. Восстановление, 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 восстановление. Все восстанавливается. Все лечатся, все довольны. Остается только всем выполнять задания, и тогда все будут просто капитально счастливы. Да так счастливы, что ж. Ого. Ну, в общем, всех, кого надо нам найти, мы нашли. Вроде бы. Но это не точно, конечно же. Это тут явно что-то нездорово. Но, как я уже сказал, все это исследовать мы будем в следующий раз. Так эта серия, опять-таки, я думаю, у нас довольно-таки мощно по продолжительности идет. И, соответственно, на этом пока все. И сколько у нас сейчас время? О, даже телефон отключился. Но да не важно. Суть в том, что по ходу Походу на этом я буду завершать, и следующая запись будет только завтра, в субботу. Ну и по сути, на сегодня все. Всем пока.